record this to the cloud. How to transition customers into business builders. I know some of you are like, yeah, I just don't even have a team yet. I don't even have that many customers. That's okay. Rich people think long-term, poor people think short-term. That's spiritually, financially, physically, mentally, and in all aspects of life. You can tell I've said that before because that was just fast, right? I'll say it again. Rich people think long-term. That's spiritually, financially, emotionally, physically, and in all aspects of life. Poor people think short-term. So you got to begin the end in mind. Even if you only have 2 customers, or if you're looking to get customers, or you had previous customers, or some of you I know have massive customer base, and you're trying to figure out, well, I got this big customer base, right? Like, what am I going to do? How am I going to be able to get all of this? How am I going to be able to get, all of these people transition? And when do I say the right thing? And what if I say the wrong thing? And how do I do all of this? So I'm checking down here. I'm looking at you guys' comments as we go. So if I have any squirrel moments, you guys can appreciate that. That's my style as we go. Now, I love this. This is just for fun. It has nothing to do with our training. But this is great. Look at this gal or this guy, whoever it is, 2.7 GPA. I know I probably shouldn't say that. Maybe my kids are going to hear me. My wife's going to be like, right? I do teach them school is for discipline, not to base their self-esteem on it, but it is good for discipline. But that's pretty legit. Anybody else tempted to do that now? You get a nice car and you're going to put it as 2.7 GPA, right? As you go. All right. I'm just making sure I'm checking the comments as we go. Okay. Tip number 1, strategy number 1, make them feel great where they're at. So the sports analogy that I give, and this is important for you to understand, is when somebody starts, think of it as, I've got my kids that are playing tennis. Think of your, if you have a kid, or if you don't have kids, if you've got, nieces or nephews or cousins or friends, whatever, it doesn't matter. Just think of our future kids, whatever. Go along with this. And they say they want to be playing soccer. And they want to play soccer for fun. What do? You celebrate them. You say, that's great. That's incredible. And you celebrate them. Maybe they made the team, or maybe they're starting, or maybe they want to be great at high school, or maybe they want to play collegiate, or maybe they want to play professional. Wherever their goals lie, you celebrate them and make them feel like $1 million. The problem is too many of us try to transition and turn these people that want to just play for fun, recreational soccer, and we try to make them all become professionals. And we make them feel bad that they're not pros. Why? Because for us personally, we want it and we need it. And we say we want it for them. Of course you want it for them. But you also want it for yourself. You want it for your own legacy. You want to be able to make a difference, right? And I sometimes we don't talk about that, but we do. Because you think about it, would you be pushing someone that just wants to be a product user, or someone who wants to make $100 a month, into trying to make way more if you were making, let's say, an insane amount? If you were making $40,000 a month, no, you'd be like, right? You guys know I like to use different names and different voices, like the girl voice. I love it because my kids are out here and they like get so embarrassed. You wouldn't reach out to, your friends. If you're making 40K a month, you wouldn't reach out to your friend Sally, and Sally who wants to make, $100 a month. You wouldn't say to Sally, hey, Sally, hey, girl, like, let me help you out. I think that your goal should be making 40 grand a month. You're selling yourself short and you're reaching out to Sally 5 times a day. No, you wouldn't act like that. You'd make her feel like $1 million. You'd say, hey, if you want more, I know how to help you and show you. I believe you can do more, but hey, whatever you want, I'm here to help you. You'd make them feel like $1 million. But we act like it's all for them. But then we're trying to push these people that want to be recreational soccer players into, you got to be pros. And we say that's not true, but you are what you recognize. We're going to get into some of this stuff. You can say something's important to you, but if you don't recognize it, it's not important to you. You can say it's important to help somebody make their money back or make $100 a month. Are you recognizing it? Because if you're not making them feel important. So the first thing is, yes, I'm going to teach you how to transition, but it's important to set this tone that we got to make everybody feel like $1 million. We got to make every single person feel like they are just crushing. Because I know some of you are incredible leaders. Some of you are these strong leaders. I see some of them. I'm not going to call you out, but it's in a good way. I see all these leaders commenting here. They're huge leaders. If I told you what some of them make, and they know it. They know that they've pushed people too hard sometimes. And it's a balance between empowering and pushing too hard and making them feel important. I did it. At the beginning, it's like this is old school 12 years ago, right? So everything was like text, call. And they're like, hey, Rob, I'm at work. I call again 2 hours later. Hey, I'm still at work. Call 4 hours later. Hey, I'm still at work. Hey, you come to the meeting tonight? You come to the meeting tomorrow? You come to the meeting the next day? How committed are you? They're just like, I thought this was a part-time gig. So I just think it's important for every single one of you to understand that for tip number one, because, too many times as we're doing this, we just get so caught up in making our agenda everything that we do. So that's strategy. We're going to go with strategy. Strategy sounds better than tip. Strategy number 2, talk their language. Avoid terms like business and prospecting. What do I mean by that? So we're now talking about transitioning customers into business builders. So if someone wants to transition, you're not going to say to the customer, hey, you ought to start this as a business. Now, I understand. Now, mirror them. I understand. For some people, that's the best thing you can say. But for most, that word is overwhelming to them. For most, they're thinking, business? I don't have any time. I've got, Johnny and Sally, and they've got all their soccer matches, and I work 20 hours a week, and I'm supposed to take care of my husband, Joe Schmo, and I just don't have it, right? Or they're thinking business, like I'm not a business person. And then they're associating with sales. So you have to talk their language. And we're gonna, in one of my next tips, I'll talk about how questions are the answers strategies. One of my next strategies, I'll talk about how questions are the answers. But the key is talking their language. So for example, if someone is selling not selling the products, they're buying the products, they had a good experience, I'm going to always start out with, hey, what's your experience been? What's your favorite part about the products? What have you loved? And they may say, I'm not sure yet. That's okay. Right? Then you're going to keep giving them more information so they can have that experience. But the second they have an experience, the second something they've loved, then I'm going to transition from that to say, well, that's great. If you love these products, let me help you out. If you can find 2 or 3 people that that would be a great fit for these products, and don't worry, we're never going to sell people. You're just going to introduce and show to them. It's just like a great restaurant. If you love a great restaurant and you show it to people, or if you love a great movie, you recommend it, and then people make their own decisions. But you've seen, let's say it's a weight loss company, you've lost 10 pounds. I joke around, but I'd feel selfish if I lost 10 pounds and didn't share with anyone. Now, if they end up buying, I'm going to show you a way that you can get your products for free. So you notice I'm not talking, even though they're doing this as a business, my language isn't let's do this as a business. I want to stair step for them into doing the business where eventually they're doing the business without even knowing they're doing the business. Okay, so talk their language, avoid terms like business and prospecting. This is kind of an awesome picture. Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth? I always like to find fun pictures because you guys know I have ADHD, a dude has dreams. Strategy number 3. Now we're going to go even more in depth. Don't you like these PowerPoints? I've got someone that's been doing them for me. Total stud out of the Philippines, and just love what he's doing with the look. If you don't like it, you can tell me as well. You tell me what to fix. Provide incredible customer service. The best way for your customers to transition to business builders is remember the 2 questions everyone's asking themselves. If you guys have watched any of my trainings in TGUY Nation, if you listen to my podcast, you should. Network Marketing Breakthroughs with Rob Sperry. It's on every platform. I think there's over 50 trainings there. I always talk about the 2 questions that the book, The Influencer, says for everyone making decisions. Number 1, can I do what you're doing? Number 2, is it worth it? Can I do what you're doing, and is it worth it? So simple things you can do is stay in touch. Too many times I see distributors sign somebody up as a customer, and then later you're trying to hit them up, right, to doing something as far as sharing it, but they're just like, you haven't spoken to me, you haven't texted me, you haven't any contact for 6 months. It's okay if you haven't. Now you can start, but stay in touch so you can just sign them up and if you sign them up directly, you put a simple reminder in your phone to reach out to them in 2 weeks. Maybe it's every month, once a month. It doesn't take that long to text them. It could be a copy and paste message that you have, and then you cater a little bit and change it. If your Facebook group has a post in it, then you got your list of customers and you can go tag them in it, right? Now don't overdo it where you're tagging them every single day and they're just like, oh my goodness, I knew I like these products, but you're spammy pammy. And so I let them know, hey, look, I'm your customer service. I'm not trying to, do anything except for just provide value for you. Now, of course, there's going to be people that are annoyed, but people judge you no matter what. They judge you because you didn't help them enough. They judge you because you helped them too much. They judge you because you approached them too soon. They judge you because you didn't approach them. They judge you because you approached them about doing the business. They judge you because you didn't approach them about doing the business. So as long as you're doing your best, who cares? Send thank you cards. These are all the ideas. You don't have to do everything, but look, this is your lifetime legacy income you're looking to create. Many of you, this is your whatever you want to call it. It's making some side income to pay for that car, to pay for that trip with your family, to pay for that humanitarian trip, to get that house, to get whatever it is. And we forget about the basics. If you were running a real business, wouldn't you do all these things? When we start network marketing, all we do is you sign up, next. And what you're doing is you got this bucket and you're filling this bucket with water. And the problem is this bucket that you're filling with water, there's all these holes in it. And so you're wondering why with all these holes, you're just like, I don't get it. I just keep, recruiting customers, or I keep recruiting business builders. And what's happening? The problem is that there's so many holes in the bucket that you just keep focusing on recruiting. You don't understand your best recruiting is actually your retention. That's where your referrals are going to come from. That's where your loyalty is going to come from. Just telling you, these are absolutely key things. You can create a monthly newsletter. Simple things. You get somebody signs up, you get their email, and all you do is just provide value. It could be, hey, here's a couple great posts inside the Facebook group. Here's a new tip, right? If let's say I'm talking about, I've done intermittent fasting before intermittent fasting was a thing. Yes, you can tell I'm very proud of that because people made fun of me 8 years ago when I started it. And when I started it, that's something I could talk about. So I'm not part of any company. You guys know I'm 100% generic, but I could talk about, hey, the top 3 tips for intermittent fasting to help you out with, let's say you're part of a health and wellness company. You see, I'm providing value. I'm not just waiting for my leaders and everyone to do it. I want to become the person I'd want to recruit. Educate your customers. That's part of it with the newsletter, right? About other products they may be interested in. Hey, did you know this product goes really well with this product? Or if you've liked this product, that could be something you do every single month. You could create a customer loyalty program. Again, you may say, my team's not big enough yet. Well, how do you create a big team? Begin with the end in mind. And if you're not ready for some of this stuff now, I know that some of this stuff is huge, big tips as we go, but you can do them later. You can come back and watch this training later. I'm going to give all of you lifetime access to come watch this. I told you, for this, I was excited. I was thinking twofold, and don't worry, we still have a ton more strategies, right? But I told you that I am opening and launching TGOD Nation. So I'm going to give that to you at the end. And I thought, if I'm going to open it, I might as well just go deliver an insane amount of value. And whether people join or not, I'm just going to go over deliver. Most people don't know this. I estimate I did almost 200, a little over 200 videos when I went back and looked back before I even sold anything. So when I talk about provide value, that's what I did. Now I overdid it, but that's what I'm telling you to do with your customers, right? You could even ask some of the people that don't sign up if you could put them on a list just to educate them. Value as you go. Next thing, call your customers once or twice. Some of you are like, oh, if your team's so big, you can't, that's fine. That's positive stress. Then you can use leverage with all of this. But if your team isn't that big yet and you want to grow it, go the extra mile. It doesn't take that long to do. You can invite customers to, even if you're not big on meetings, maybe it's just some customer loyalty meeting you do once or twice a year. Just make your customer feel important. You figure out which ones resonate and work with you. I'm going back. I'm checking out all of these. Okay, you guys are finding value in this. If you're finding value, let me know what's been the biggest aha moment. If you're watching this live and you're in the Facebook group and you get the comments, just let me know what's the biggest aha moment so far. We're only halfway through these strategies. A lot of talking. I got to make sure I get the water as we get fired up as we go. Questions are the answers. We alluded to this at the beginning. How do you like the product? What's your favorite part about the product? Get more detailed. Find out what the results, right? And then after you get those questions, remember, you're utilizing the questions. If someone you knew had blank and never shared it with you, how would you feel? If someone you knew had a product that helped you drop 10 pounds and never shared it with you, how would you feel? I'm kidding, but I'm dead serious. Let's get your product for free. Now, some of you are really savvy on social media. And if that's the case, what I love, huge suggestion here. Let's say you don't have a team. This is what you're going to do. You're going to create, let's just use Gmail. You're going to use your Drive. You can use whatever you want. And you're going to think of curiosity posts that you can create. So when you have new people that are customers that are loving the products, you give them a couple examples and you tell them they can make their own words. They can use their own words, not make their own words. They can use their own words. So now you're giving me examples of curiosity posts that they can make, right? Without naming the company name, without saying buy this. It could be like, hey, I did this and this and this. I'm just a customer, but if anyone's interested, just let me know. Super simple. And then you can fill in what the results and the benefits and their experience and their journey. And now you're teaching them this is the simple way that you can let them know, hey, if we have a couple people that buy, then I'll gift you this product. Or I'll get this product for free. Then when those people end up buying, you can say, hey, I can have those people, if you want, buy from me and I give you product for free. Or if you'd like, I can actually just put them on your team, even though I know you're not doing this as a business or anything. It's like, you'll know people here and there. You might as well get paid for those efforts. So you see how it's a stair-step way to get them involved. Tip number 5, show them a simple way. And we went over this, but I'm bringing all of this together for every single one of you, is show them a simple way to get their products for free. You're just making it simple, right? That goes with the language. Remember, they're givers and they need to feel that way. They know the product is incredible and they know they're givers. They're scared that they don't have the skill set. They're also scared they're going to be perceived as takers. That's why I give so many analogies. I mean, I give analogies like, hey, have you ever been to a movie without even trying the movie and you invited people to it? They're like, yeah, well, this is something you've actually tried and you love. Why not? Why not share? Who do you think this would be a great fit for? Now, again, you've got to make sure they know you're not going to be selling them because that's the thing they're most uncomfortable with. They do not want their friends sold by you. So I'm transitioning them in a very natural way as I go in and make this happen. Now, after that, my goal is to stair step after I can get a couple of people is showing them how they can make $400 a month. And I always simplify it in a non-business related way. So the best presentations handle the objection during the presentation. And some of their top objections are lack of skill set. I'm not a salesperson. I don't want to be a taker, right? I don't have the time to do this, and I don't have the knowledge. So remember, going back to the 2 questions everyone asks themselves, can I do it and is it worth it? I'm showing them how they can do it. Hey, it's really, really simple, right? I'm giving an example. If you've got whatever system you use, whether it's Zoom, Facebook group, just insert what I'm saying. How easy is it? All I did is share it with you. You share with people to go to the Facebook group. They see it. You share with people, hey, try it. If you love it, great. Keep ordering. If you don't, that's okay. But here's been my experience. And if they like it, great. And if they don't, that's okay. And if we get 4 people, you make your money back. I'm giving an example, okay? And let's say with those 4 people, a couple people take off and they get 4 people. Now we're making $200 a month. Again, I have no idea your compensation plan. I'm giving an example. We see how I kept it really simple. It's on your own time. I'm here. I have time. I know how to leverage it. I'm non-salesy. I'm very conversational. I just ask a lot of questions. My whole goal is for people, number 1, to take a look. And number 2, after that is just to try it. That's it, because I know how incredible it is. Do you see what I'm doing? Too many of us turn into this weird salesy voices. We're doing everything. And it makes it just so difficult. And so for all of you guys, that's what I'm doing is I'm just keeping it crazy, crazy simple. So just remember, it's about them, not you. And that goes back to strategy number 1, as too many times we make it all about us. That's why it's so good at just getting better and better at asking questions and figuring out what they want and figuring out what their biggest fears are and their biggest concerns. I had a mentor that told me, his definition of the business was empower self, empower others. Why empower self? Because they don't have the confidence, so they need to borrow from you. You may say, but Rob, I don't have any confidence yet. Well, have confidence in your products, in your system, in your leaders. Don't make yourself the issue because you haven't made money. Can't you point them in the right direction? The Facebook group and tools and Zooms and how great the products are. Can they be better than you? Of course. So empower yourself on you can plug them in, and then empower others on, hey, this is really simple. You can do this. It's worth it. You can do it. And you all know it's worth it. An extra $400 a month is life-changing money. It is life-changing money, and don't sell it short. So logic is always the justification after they buy. I want you to think about this. Logic is the justification after they buy. Emotion sells, never logic.